can tell you about iRacing's precision-engineered cars. I can tell you about iRacing's authentically detailed tracks. I can tell you about iRacing's incredibly satisfying physics.
But what I can't tell you is what it's like to be part of this.
Good morning and welcome to ARL-TV for this round 9 of the V8 SuperCar series, live from Mosport today. I'm joined by my co-commentator Andrew Woodhouse. Nice to have you back in the booth, Mr. Woodhouse. Seem to have lost Andrew.
Alex.
Oh no, there he is.
You can hear me there. It's to be back V8 SuperCar. A good one this morning.
Yeah, obviously.
Everybody joined us. So, like you said, various time zones and yeah. Welcome to.
And you're lagging out a little bit again, but I expect that will settle itself down again in a moment. But yeah, V8 SuperCar series brought to you by Pagnini Imports and ARL-TV, as well as Sim News Daily. So just to give a bit of a shout out for the sponsors. Let's not forget Apex Racing League, who host this, put everything on. Also, just while we're giving a plug for those guys, don't forget to follow them at Apex Racing UK on Twitter and Apex Racing League on Facebook. So Mosport, round 9. You missed a couple of races, buddy, but you know, this is always a particularly good track for racing. I think it's going to be really close here. What are you expecting from the race?
Okay, you know, one of the key things around here is consistency. The setup is key as well, because the fast corners, very difficult of undulation, and there's heavy braking as well into the hairpin at the bottom end of the track. So long straights, you need straight line speed, you need balance in the high speed corners, and like you say, there aren't really that many overtaking opportunities here, because a lot of the corners, like we said, are fast.
Well, I think like normal, then we could be expecting a very strategical race from some. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, the tyre strategy is going to be very important, as we see two Lenovo teammates hitting each other there.
Just having a quick look at championship table as they stand. Obviously Simon Black leading away from his teammate Marty Atkins, obviously, who's a race down on him, but drop rounds are in effect. Trevor Johnston, Matty Burnett, Tommy Kumper, Richard Stamenkovic, all the big names to keep an eye out for. They're all going to be competing up there.
And good to see an appearance by Mr. Horrell as well.
Yeah, nice to see Ben back. And
I'm sure we'll get the hang of it.
drivers just finishing up their last laps now, but if we can just perhaps have a run through the grid as it stands at the moment, and we'll update the guys if there are any changes.
It can indeed. It has been a terrific pole position run. Well, hopefully for his sake, from Marlon McMullen. 1:19.76 is the time. Richard Stamenkovic just a fraction behind. He's so close. There are just 0.4 of a second between the top 7. Stamenkovic, Black, Burnett, Cherney and Butler, and then Atkins in 7th, covered by, well, you could throw a blanket over those guys. Tom Jones a little bit further behind, alongside well, Artiak, Tommy Cumper and Tim Falters are on row 5 together. Kevin Johnston and Chris Brooks on the 6th row, then Brett Spicer, Corentin Peters, Dean Prescott, Romer Alcala, Damien McConkey, Stephen McPherson, and at the back is Ben Horrell and Cedric Finsack.
Yeah, tight little qualifying session there. I think we're going to have a great race as the guys just finish up. That's my Atkins. I'm not sure that's going to be an improvement on time.
No.
Is he coming rolling across the line in his CST Australia car? But you can't doubt the commitment to the cause there.
No, no. I have to say as well, to everybody watching ARL-TV, Happy New Year as well to everybody. Hope you had a good holiday, and well, 2013 is going to be bigger, better, badder, and everything else on ARL-TV. So sit back, relax, grab a bacon sandwich or a drink, and enjoy some Saturday morning racing action with myself, Andrew Woodhouse, and Alex Simpson here on ARL-TV. Alex, not long now to the green then, and well, who's your money on in this tightly packed field?
It's a tough call. I wouldn't like to say, actually. Looking at the qualifying times, Marlon will be delighted with pole position, and but his teammate there, Richard Stamenkovic, I think he's always very consistent in the races, so he could well put up a bit of a shout.
That's definitely a possibility. With such a close field, Alex, is it possible that someone, say, who qualified in the midfield around where Tom Jones is or Tommy Cumper is, can latch onto this big group? I mean, it's a fast track, so maybe with the slipstream they might be able to hang in there.
Yeah, I think that I mean, over one lap, obviously you see the gaps, but I'll be surprised if we see like a big spread come this race. I think it's going to be pretty closely packed. That little bit of slipstream draft effect is going to keep them close together.
Yeah, and it's short run to the first corner, Alex. It's relatively simple for the leader to keep the advantage, but it's still going to be key for McMullen if he wants to take victory here, because Simon Black, we know, can have some very good starts on his day. So not long to go then. It's 5 seconds or so before the lights come on and the revs rise. 28 laps of Mosport International.
Green, green, green!
Let's go now. And it was a reasonable start by McMullen, but he's got a low wheel spin. Black's trying to go around the outside of turn 1 as they turn right. Long sweeping corner. Need to be careful there's no contact. Down the dip, left. Long constant radius corner. Oh, off! Off goes Stamenkovic, and he's into the grass. Almost in the tyre wall.
Yeah, Damien Butler's out there as well, so Damien had good practice time, so he was another one to look out for.
Stamenkovic just went too deep, didn't he, Alex, into that corner and just caught the grass there. Right on the outside. It's now heavy braking. Uphill at the top end of this circuit. Tight double apex right-hander. Now this is the long back straight. You really need some good top end speed here. But McMullen managed to maintain the lead, Alex, after what was not really a very good start.
No, he did well there. He's under a lot of pressure. Kept his cool, covered the lines where he needed to. And we're just also watching sort of the onboard take-off lap as well from Steve McPherson on the back of the grid there, so you just see how tightly packed that was as well. Managed to get through unscathed. And,
off goes one of the Lenovo cars. It's Dean Prescott, I think. He went off the tracks. Oh, into the wall goes.
I think that was Cedric. It's hard to tell Cedric and Roma apart.
It's Alcala, I think. Yeah, Finsak's still going. It was Alcala. Almost taking out Prescott there. You can see Damien Butler trying to fight his way through as well. He's gone from 6th on the grid, he's now 18th. He's just behind Cedric Finsak, so will he make the pass? He already has, actually. Not taking long there for Butler. McMullen's got a nice lead already. It's about 1 second over Simon Black.
Oh, there's contact there between Matty Burnett and Black.
And then you've got Cherney's in there as well.
Yeah, Cherney took advantage of that.
Atkins and
three wide coming down this straight. This kind of reminds me of the V8 race that we did at Charlotte the other day. So tight.
Look at this. You were racing V8s at Charlotte, you madmen.
It was
into the pits.
It was fantastic.
Into the pits comes Black.
I'm guessing Black must have picked up a bit of damage or something there.
Championship leader in for repairs. We were racing on the oval at Charlotte.
We were indeed. It was
absolutely crazy, people.
It was pretty immense. So like 45 car field. It was epic. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it again, and a lot of people took part. Some big names as well. I think it was. Just trying to think who won it now. I know Madison and his rival. Can't think of his name.
Neither can I.
They'll be shouting at me now.
We've got Chris Lucky as well, former champion in there as well.
Yeah, it's nice to see Chris in, because obviously he's changed his job role and said that he might be limited with the amount of races that he can do. So
down in 18th place.
Yeah,
however, not really making much of an impression on Stamenkovic there.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's probably a lack of track time for Chris. Just goes to show how that will hurt you. You know, the practice means everything in this car.
Romer Alcala is saying he had no force feedback, so it's quite a big handling problem there for the American. And off goes an orange car. Not sure who that is. I think that's Curtin Peters, I think, in the orange car.
We've got Tim Folks here, Kevin Johnson just behind him. Tim trying to put some pressure on Tommy Kumper as well.
I think Brett Spice has been off.
Oh, we've got car off as well there. Someone
in the pits.
That's one of the REM cars. I'm not sure who that is. It's one of the front runners. I've got a feeling that might be Matty Burnett there.
I think it was. He's just in front of Butler now. Did he crash into anything?
Let's just have a look.
He got quite a big bite of the tyre wall there, mate. That is just what happened to Stamenkovic, except Stamenkovic kept that out of the wall. So Burnett in the walls.
Yeah, he's definitely got some damage on that front right as well. I'm just going to see if I can get that replay up. Pulled up for the
serious
guys.
trouble keeping that car straight.
Yeah, just we look at it now. He's just coming out of turn 1.
Oh, McMullen's in the pits, and he crashed into the wall on his way in. Why did the leader pit, I wonder?
Gonna have a quick.
Is it early enough to make a pit tyre strategy work?
It could be. Yeah, just having a quick look at Matty Burnett. Yeah, he just caught. He's got his outside wheels on the grass there. Nothing to do. Steered into it. Obviously trying not to spin it completely, but then just couldn't quite get it around before the tyre wall.
McMullen does repairs and he's out. Sorry, mate.
That's fine. No, I think he did. Matty Burnett did well there. Let's just have a look, see if McMullen went off as well.
So after 4 laps have already been completed, we've got Tobias Chertney's leading. So that's excellent for him. New to the series.
This race is flying by, actually. Before we know it, we're going to be sort of halfway point.
And then we've got Marty Atkins now in second place. And Tom Jones and Tommy Cumper, Alex, we mentioned them at the start. Maybe having a chance to stick with these guys. They're not too far behind. Very soon have their own private battle for that 4th place.
Yeah, we know how good Tom Jones is. He's definitely improving week on week, and Tommy Cumper always finds himself in the top 5 positions. He's suffered some unfortunate luck this season as Tommy Cumper with fuel and things like that after being in 3rd place previous race. So, but he'll be looking to bounce back.
Everybody's in early now, Alex, so it must be the strategy.
Yeah.
On this track.
Yeah, I was about to say I just watched back Marlon's pit entry. There was no damage or anything like that, so it's completely strategical. So
Did hit wall, however, on his way.
Well, yeah.
So there did end up being some damage in the end. Got Chris Lucky right on the back of Stephen McPherson. McPherson in the Kimmy's Rural Fencing car. And Lucky for Lenovo. 2 of the great constructors here in ARL V8 SuperCars.
We'll have to keep an eye on this as well, because I don't think these guys are going to pit in so early. I might be mistaken.
I don't think Chris. I don't. I mean, you'll be in at the end of this lap, but from what we've seen of Chris Lucky over the seasons, he might just do a long run here and see how many people he can jump in the pits, because he's definitely got good pace here.
Yeah, got Kevin Johnston having to defend from Chris Brooks here.
McMullen's on the back, he's 2, so he's come out only about 20 seconds behind. Short pit lane here at Mosport. Cherney looking pretty good.
See, this is where I think it's going to really hurt the guys that are pitted in really early, because they're going to get caught up in some of this traffic if none of them pit. So some of them go long, and if you've got people at the front going long, they could well end up losing position here.
The other thing as well is if you to split the race, it's a much more balanced strategy on the tyres as well. Because these guys are pitting in on lap 4, lap 5 with still pretty good tyres. And those tyres are not going to be good after 23 laps of the second stint, even with less fuel. I think I wouldn't run the race like this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be people saying
I mean, what about yourself?
It's the right call and others disagreeing, so the only way we're really going to tell is to see how it plays out here, I feel. Yeah, you never can tell with such a split strategy kind of field. A lot of guys do a lot of different things, and you always run the risk going in early that you're going to get held up, and I always tend to opt to stay out and be quicker on the last stint. But if track position is so important here, then I can understand, oh, we got a little love kiss going through that corner.
The thing is, knowing, Alex, that this car is so sensitive on tyres, why would you want to risk 23 laps on the same set? It doesn't seem, I don't know, it doesn't seem the smartest strategy. But having said that, most people have done it. So, and I'm not very experienced in this series compared to these guys. So you would think they'd know best, but you never know. As we've got Chris Brooks coming under a breath. In fact, he let Matt Burnett through there, which is a little surprising. They are fighting for position, I think, after Burnett crashed. There's no he's not being lapped or anything. It's got Peters just behind McConkey, and they've got Stamenkovic for company, so that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Stamenkovic still fighting his way back from the front. I think he stayed out. I don't think he's pitted in, has he? Let's have a quick look.
Stamenkovic might have pitted. 100% sure on that one.
But still out front though. He doesn't look like he's coming in anytime soon.
No. The thing is that for instance, the people who stayed out. So Cherney did a 120.9. But Mullen did a 121.7, but he's now stuck behind Chris Lucky, so that might be the reason for that.
Stamenkovic did pit as well, so
the guys who have pitted for new tyres will have a slight advantage, at least until the other guys pit. So maybe it's not a bad strategy in the end. But we've still got to see how the tyres are going to hold up in this stint, at the end of the stint, in about 25 minutes' time.
I think actually just seen a message from Roma. Is he on track? If I drag him up, he wants to pop up here and just have a quick chat.
6 laps down, my friend. So yeah, bring him in.
Hi Roma, tell us a little bit about what just happened there, buddy.
Hey guys.
Okay, mate. What was the problem there on track?
Yeah, let me turn off the stream right. I'm getting looped. Decided to disconnect the wheel to rearrange it in a better place, and it was not a good idea. I was in the qualifying and started the grid, and the wheel didn't have any force feedback, and the response of the wheel was very slow.
You had a pretty good start, and then it just fell away with a big crash there, unfortunately. Do you fancy sticking around for the rest of the broadcast up here? Could do with some input.
Yeah, I'll be more than glad just to be part of the race, at least talking about it a little bit.
So while we've got you here, mate, we might as well pick your brains a little bit. What's this track? What's the difficulty of this track in car combination? What's the hardest thing about driving Mosport?
It's a very similar track to Watkins Glen, and it's very flowy. You definitely need a good setup, stable setup that will get you through the corners. And I think the hardest part is to coming down the hills and braking into the corners and turning. There's a lot of elevations, especially on the first section. And
off goes, sorry Roma, somebody's just been off the track. I think it was Chris Brooks, Alex, at the top of the hill. Got into a bit of trouble.
Yeah, just missed that. I was just on board with Kevin Johnson there.
Yeah, Roma, I think the first sector is definitely the hardest part of the track. I've only driven this track on the Skip Barber, but it is,
Chris Peters, Damien Butler here battling hard. Butler gets the move done. He's fighting his way back up.
Yeah, Butler's through. He went off on the first couple of corners, but you can see that he has some decent pace. 121.1. It's very solid indeed. I mean, he qualified 6th. He was only 2/10 off pole position, so you can really see he into the top 10 at the end of the race. Currently 13th, Alex, and not too far behind Stamenkovic.
Roma, just a quick question. What's the thoughts behind some of these guys pitting in earlier? I mean, it seems like there's two very distinctive strategies going on out here today.
Yeah, definitely with the fuel you can make it, and with the tires, if you treat them well, they will last you about 18, 19 laps, and you'll still have 84% of the thread still available. So you really have to have the right amount of PSI on them. You really not have a balanced tire, but you can definitely, if you treat them well, you can run them for a while.
So do we think it's quicker then to do this strategy? Or do we think staying out?
Sorry, Andrew. Tom Jones off. He's trying to keep it out. The tyre wall fails miserably. I think he is going to be on his roof there, as in typical iRacing fashion. The camera jumps away.
Tom.
I'll see if I can't bring that back up.
He's not on his roof. He'd carry on his
Oh,
wheels.
and I hear something as well in the background. Got big crash between. I think that's 2 REM cars involved there. I'll have a look at that one back as well.
Let's have a look. Who is it? Sir Johnston, is it?
It was one of the
Johnston and Stamenkovic. Oh, there's nothing nothing Richard could do there. He was minding his own business. Johnston crashes, coming onto the pitch straight. I don't know what happened there. He just seemed to veer off to the left, sorry. Then he hit one wall, bounced across, hit the other wall. It's like he had a problem with his steering. Looks like he just lost steering, Johnston.
Yeah, just bringing that up on replay now. You can just see him going off. Like you say, he's just ricocheting. Stamenkovic nowhere to go, both cars.
It's like he didn't have any brakes either.
Yeah, it looks like
Very
a wheel
strange.
probably disconnected there.
Very, very strange accident for Johnston, and it's ruined the race of Stamenkovic. But meanwhile, at front, Cherney is churning out the laps, churning out a big lead. 5.8 seconds, Alex, is about 0.2 a lap quicker than Marty Atkins. If he carries on at that rate, that's going to be enough by the end.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, he's going to have his late pit stop, but I can't help but think Marlon's been caught up in traffic, really, and that's going to cost him, just as we're seeing Tom Jones catching the edge of the grass, trying desperately to keep it out of that tyre wall, fails miserably, but what he does do is he keeps it on all fours somehow, so he's able to continue.
He didn't do a Sebring and end up on his roof rolling down the straight. Now, the thing is, what McMullen maybe could have done is waited a couple of laps for a gap in the traffic, and that's what he didn't get, unfortunately. And but he's only 24.6 seconds behind. It's not a disaster for him at this point. If Cherney, for example, has a slow stop, then it's definitely possible for him to get back into it. He lapped 1/10 slower than Cherney on that previous lap. To be honest, I think Tobias has the pace to stay out there and keep the lead for the rest of the event. But like I say, we never know what's going to happen in the pits. You don't know what the tyres are going to do as well. And like Roman said, if he comes out of the pits and burns the tyres too quickly, well, he could still have a struggle on his hands.
Yeah, we're at that halfway stage at this point as well, and you've got McPherson trying to put a little bit of pressure on Black, I think that was there, so...
It just depends as well, Alex, just how much fuel these guys have on board. You know, different fuel strategies will be playing out here.
We are at a very interesting point in the race now as well, because half the field has pitted and half hasn't, so like we said, I think strategy was going to be the key here, and we're starting to see some of it play out now. To think Tobias, Marty, Tommy...
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So go on.
Yeah, I was saying those, and Chris Lucky all looking pretty good. I wonder if Chris is trying to no-stop this completely. I'm not sure it's possible, but...
We have seen him do that before. Yeah. To fantastic effect. I think that the track's too fast to save fuel enough, to be honest, but we'll see.
We've got his teammate in here, so Roma, come on, spill the beans now.
Well, I haven't seen him since 2 weeks. So I have no idea. He just came in. We thought that his last race was won a spot. So I'm glad he's here, but I have no idea what he's planning on doing.
And you call yourself a team principal? I don't know.
To be fair, if his driver goes missing for 2 weeks, there isn't much he can do.
He told me he got a promotion at work and he wasn't going to be racing. I was like, hey, congrats, and we'd love to have you here.
Well, that's the thing, he's welcome back anytime he wants, when he can race, as the race is quite spread out now, Alex. Really no real battles going on, at least on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think most of the battling now is going on the clock, with everybody having pit. We've got Chris Lucky with Marlon McCullum just coming up behind. Marlon's looking good, you know. I mean, he's behind Chris. He's not that far behind the lead. He's done his pit stop.
I'd say he's looking good for second place if he can keep going. Atkins might just be able to make it out in front of him. I don't know, it's going to be very difficult. But again, Alex, the guys who pitted earlier on will have had to put more fuel in the car, almost certainly.
Yeah, well, in theory, the pit stop should be a lot shorter for the guys, you know, pitting later on. So it'd just be like a little splash and dash. So where Marlon's pit stop was 4.7 seconds, I'm thinking Tobias and Marty are going to be sort of like 3 seconds, maybe 2.5, just a tiny little splash and go.
So is Roma, is nobody taking any tyres here then?
I wouldn't believe so.
Right.
I think
It's interesting.
If you're in the top 5, top 6, and you turn against the spots, you're not going to take tires.
Yeah, so the
And
pit
Marty Atkins.
pit strategy
finish.
just about fuel them.
Yeah, if Marty can finish where it is, Marty can easily take championship lead.
That is an interesting one though, as well, Alex, because McMullen is lapping at a very similar pace to Cherney, but in theory Cherney has less fuel.
Camper is in the pits right now.
Alright, let's see what he does. Will there be tyres for the Englishman? And how much fuel is going to go into that car? Well, hopefully for his, he missed the box a little bit there.
He missed the box, yeah. And I think he's taking tires too.
Yeah, you can see his car get jacked up.
I think that's a good idea. I really do. I think it will just make him feel more comfortable. He's down to 8th now.
It's a long old pit stop compared to a lot of the other drivers out there, though. 13.1 seconds.
He was, however, like I say, short pit lane, so he's lost about 30 seconds, which, yeah, it's probably 10 seconds longer.
He's putting down to 8th, and is that Damien Butler behind him? There he just comes out. Damien's also done his pit stop, which was a 13.6, so...
It is, however, I think Tommy is in a good position because even if he loses 10 seconds, say, to Chris Lucky in the pits, he's got the chance to be 5 seconds... Maybe 5-10 seconds quicker than him in this stint. So
yeah, he's got that fresh rubber, so he can really just go for it now.
I reckon round this track it'd be worth a second a lap if Compa can, like you said, Roma, take care of the tyres.
I believe Marty Atkins is in the pits right now.
He is, yep. As is Dean Prescott, who is the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, Lucky looks like he's just staying out there a bit longer as well. And Marlon's still behind him.
Still in front of Marlon, actually.
Yeah, and that slowed Marlon up a little bit. Although last lap, looking at that, Chris Lucky, fastest person out there on the track. Oh no, I lie. That was Matty Burnett.
We actually gained 3/10 on McMullen, Alex. So what you were saying is still ring true. Lucky's not slowing down. I wonder if he saved fuel at the beginning of the race. If he's planning to go all the way. Surely not. Surely we're not going to see another Rocky Armour again.
Matty took tires and he filled up. It was about the same stop as Tommy.
Yeah, 13.2.
Yeah, and he's away.
In front of Matthew Burnett.
Let's have a look at that. Yep, just a couple of seconds up the road is Atkins. Simon Black, the championship leader, in 5th. Looking pretty good. It's not been his best race of the season, but he's definitely going nicely.
It's just important now for those guys just to keep getting those top 5 finishes in to cover off any drop rounds and things like that people might have.
Well, exactly that. You know, you need to be as consistent as possible in this championship. And it's confirmation of Atkins' position now in 6th position. Tommy Compa 120.6 on the last lap. That's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely flying now. He'll have
In
very
fact,
little fuel.
He's only half a 10 slower than his qualifying time, Alex. So he's really going for it.
Yeah, very nearly the fastest lap of the race. Marlon still gets that.
We know though, when Tommy gets going like this, it's very hard to stop him. Doesn't make many mistakes. Probably just put the kibosh on him. He's really hustling that car. You can tell that he's enjoying it.
Kevin Johnson, Dean Prescott, just about to have a little battle, but behind them they've got 2nd and 3rd place, Chris Lucky, Marlon.
Yeah, indeed. And Cherney now leads by 25 seconds. Probably a good time to pit, I would reckon.
I think he could get out and get in and get out in front of Chris, and perhaps pull away on those fresh tyres.
I've noticed that Cherney has gained in the 15 laps since Marlon stopped. He's gained 5 seconds over Chris Lucky. So.
Sorry, Woody.
No, cool.
Black just came in the pits.
Yeah, Simon Imp. See.
Indeed, he is. I think Butler's just gone through.
Simon's second stop of the day, 6.3 seconds.
There's Chris Brooks. So can he get out in front of Chris? It's gonna be tight, but I don't think he will.
Just a little splash there.
Just behind Brooks and just in front of Falters, who's actually in a very, very non-Tim Falters race, not very eventful.
Tobias still staying out as well. Lap 20, he's definitely going long.
I mean, his pace is still good, guys. I mean, he's still in the low 21s.
Yeah, 21.2 that lap. I mean, fantastic.
It's impressive on all days, I must admit.
That is pretty good.
Let's just have a quick look at what Marlon does as he comes across the line. But tucked up behind Chris, I don't think he's going to...
Compra 121.1.
121.8 for Marlon, so again he's just falling back. It was important for him to get the jump on some of these guys, and this is what I say, gets caught up in some of the slower traffic. It's going to affect his race.
20.8 for Atkins. Interesting to see what Black does actually. He's coming round for his first lap. Well, it's his first lap after the pits, so we'll get a good read on that next time. As he's closing right up on Chris Brooks now. Fresh tyres, you would think he would have the advantage. Do we think it's the case that Marlon McMullen is biding his time behind Chris Lucky because he knows, well, or he believes that Lucky will pit? Well, or do we think he's just not quick enough to get past him?
It's very, I mean, it is tricky to overtake here, but I feel that yes, he is expecting him to pit in, but he's got to keep an eye on that gap to Tobias, to be honest. I mean, Marlon's definitely got the pace here with that pole position to win the race, but I have to say, I think the victory's slipping away from him here.
Yeah, indeed, and that's the thing. You know, there's a fine line between patience and just seeing your lead slip away, and sometimes there isn't a lot you can do. It's the worst thing ever, but for McMullen, he just needs to keep his concentration, keep his head in the game, and react to what Chris Lucky does. I mean, we're only 6 laps from the end. If Lucky doesn't pit, McMullen will feel that he's missed a big chance.
Yeah, 6 laps. I mean, we obviously saw drivers pit in on lap 4 and lap 6, so you know, we know that they can probably make it another couple of laps before needing that little splash.
I mean, that might be the strategy. You know, Lucky putting in good laps and maybe coming out slightly higher up the field than he would have done. It's definitely a difficult one at this point. It'll be a short stop if he does pit, Chris, but if McMullen is waiting for him to come in, guys, he's waiting quite a long way behind him, to be honest. Yeah,
he fell back a little bit there. That last lap wasn't a very good one. Just having a look where Chris is probably going to come out. I mean, he, at the minute,
probably between Tommy and Damien, you would think.
Yeah, it's going to be close somewhere around there. So you know, he's made good progress in this stint.
That's if he gets a really good stop, Alex, as well, because that's not guaranteed. We saw that with Tommy missing his pit box, so you know, need to make it count in the pit lane.
And he's not in this time. Another lap's ticking on by. And Tobias as well. He's stayed out, so.
McPherson's pitting from P6, and you reckon he might come out just where Chris Brooks and Tom Jones are? Brooks 12th and Jones 11th.
Yeah, let's just see what sort of time loss he gets here.
Depends what he takes as well. If he takes some tyres, then he will probably drop. Might even drop off the lead lap.
No, he just got a splash.
Splash fuel, back out. Through goes. Well, Falters has gone through. In fact, Jones and Brooks have both come through as well, so McPherson losing out a little bit there.
The leader is in. The leader.
Yeah,
Now then.
Just caught that Tobias in.
Tobias Journey's going to need to hit his marks and have a good stop. He's going to take his victory.
Taking tires.
Will this be his first victory of the season, boys?
It will indeed.
So,
And he's gone. 9 seconds.
yeah, there you go. Look,
Yeah, good stop.
look, he's coming round though. He's going to be reasonably close. I mean, he's only a couple of seconds behind, but now, well, Journey's topped up with fuel, so we're all even on fuel. Chris Lucky just gapping McMullen now, 1.6 seconds. And where has Marlon's pace gone after the opening part of the race, where he was really very fast?
Yeah, I think that strategy's cost him. He's probably burnt up his tyres too much trying to get through the traffic, and now it's starting to hurt.
Richard Stamenkovic back in the race in...
Oh, as he goes a little bit
13th.
wide. Yeah, Stamenkovic done well. He's been in the pits a couple of times, 37.8 seconds, one of them as well. So it's just one lap down. To be fair, I think he's done well just to sort of keep it where it is.
Yeah, I think you're right. In 13th place, you get decent points for that. It'll be something to add to the tally. He might drop this round, possibly. So over the line comes Chern. He's only got 4 laps to go.
Yeah, Tommy Kumper, 6th place. Might actually have a run on Matty Burnett here. He seems to be catching him up ridiculously quick.
Well, interesting thing about that statement is that
The last time round.
Burnett was 5 tenths faster that last time round, and then 4 tenths faster this time round. So good observation there. But apart from that, he's catching him. Yeah. Oh dear. We did mention, Alex, that Matty Burnett had the fastest lap of the race, so again, it's another example of him really maturing and growing in this car and getting better every time we've seen him.
Yeah, he has a lot.
I mean, he was, used to see him mired in the midfield quite a lot, and now really is, as the competition level in this series has raised, his game's raised as well. And Alex, we've watched him pretty much in every race in ARL, and like I said, the improvement is staggering. Even though I know we interviewed him about this, didn't we, a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, he was the first person to say, that he's starting to get to grips with the car more and more, and he's feeling it starts to feel like it's underneath him more. And once you get comfortable and happy with the car, you just start finding chunks of time, and it's proved here by some of his results this season. And I think we need to keep an eye on him for next season.
Speaking of finding chunks of time, Alex, Chris Lucky's just taken half a second out of Journey on the last lap, and well. Can you do it, do you think? Is this a ridiculous attempt to do the race with no stops and somehow he's faster than the leader?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't even understand what's happening here.
you have to consider if he'd have had a reasonable qualifying position.
Off goes, sorry Alex, I think that's Johnston, Kevin Johnston off.
It is indeed.
Lap down, he needs to be careful coming back onto the track in front of Prescott.
And we think we've
but
got
they're battling.
McPherson, I think that is off as well.
They're battling for position, Alex. Prescott's on the grass. That one almost got a bit tasty. It's not been a terrific race from an on-track action point of view, but definitely from a strategy point of view and intrigue, it's definitely...
Well, they kept us thinking all the way through. Chris, he's definitely going to go for a no-stopper now. Didn't think it was possible, but he's done it again somehow.
21.5 for Cherney, 21.1 for Lucky. And the gap's down to 2.1 for us. I think we could get a wonderful finish here.
Yeah, it's definitely pushing. He just needs the tires to hold on.
Yeah,
I think, Alex, we need to prepare ourselves, because I think if Chris wins, I think Roma will explode. I don't think there'll be anything left of him. I think.
Just to point out, Chris Brooks, he tried the early stop, and by lap 23, 22, he was dropping. He got passed by Simon, Tim, Tom, Steven, and then he just decided to just pit again and get some tires. So,
I think that's what's happened with Marlon there as well. He's you know, he's just burnt the tyres up having to try and come back through the field, so he's just got nothing at the end.
I think you're right. I mean, that's the thing. It's much better to drive at your own pace in clear air. I think 99% of the time, even when you have new tyres, I think I mean, you know, we've all done it in F1 races as well before. You know, stay out, mind your own business, and usually that'll work for you. However, it's the final lap, boys, and 6 in it. Oh, I don't think Lucky's going to do it, but he's going to give it a damn good go.
Well, I think I heard Tobias just getting a little bit sideways in turn 1, but still got that little bit of a gap.
By the way, fellas, Chris Lucky started at the back of the grid. The back of the grid. And now he's second.
Fantastic drive no matter what happens here.
Yeah, I mean,
just for the ultimate achievement. Come on, Chris. Let's see it.
To be honest, Journey's driven a very, very good race. Very controlled, very consistent. But you know, Chris Lucky didn't just turn up to race today, he turned up to win, and a very aggressive strategy looks to be paying off with second place. We've only got a couple of corners to go.
Yeah, I think he's going to get within that 1 second gap, but I don't think he's going to get any closer.
Well, the pressure on Journey in the last couple of corners must be spiralling out of control.
Very tricky corners here.
He needs to just keep it clean, and he will win this race. On the last corner, a bit twitchy, and he's sideways, but he wins at Mosport International. Tobias Journey, great victory for him, and Chris Lucky, 0.9 seconds behind, starting 21st. You know, that almost counts as a miracle, Alex.
Yeah, fantastic race there.
No stops.
Amazing, he does it again on the fuel. I don't know how that man saves the fuel that he does, but
well, do you think now it sort of rings a bell why when we were saying that at the beginning that he was a bit slow, maybe that was why he was sat in the pack saving fuel. Maybe he knew that coming through the pack might be the only way he could actually save the fuel.
And that was the thing, he wanted to make sure that that he tried to keep within that sort of 25-second barrier. Just didn't quite do it. So it must have been so frustrating.
I haven't got a clue how he had the pace at the end. I mean, maybe he knew he'd saved enough fuel that he could just go for it, and that might have been it. But never count that man out. But we can't take it away from the winner, Tobias Journey. However, unfortunately for Tobias, I think Chris Lucky has to be driver of the day for that.
Yeah, you can't give it to anybody else. Back to second place. So yeah, just truly amazing that was. Marlon McMullen also did a fantastic race, to be fair, but I think the strategy just was the wrong one in the end. So he come in and yeah, he got caught behind the traffic there. But the late stop and the no stop definitely beat him there. Marty Atkins in 4th. He kept himself out of trouble, pretty non-eventful. 4th place, Matty Burnett 5th. Tommy Compass finishing 6th, Damien Butler 7th. Simon Black, obviously, with that little turnaround that he got, an early pit stop in 8th. Tim Foltz 9th. Tom Jones, after his excursions off the track, in 10th. He'll be delighted with that as well.
I think he'll be quite pleased, considering he's nearly flipped over at some point. I think Damien Butler did a good race actually after being well off the track in the first corner and losing a lot of time. He's not going to be that happy with 7th, but you know, he qualified 6th, so maybe just maybe reasonably satisfied. Matt Burnett beating Tommy Comper. Burnett was 4th on the grid, however. Stamenkovic would have been in there, I think, as well, Alex, if it wasn't for It wasn't for the first corner going, well, sorry, the third corner going wide. It was of his own making, unfortunately, for Richard, but at 12th place, I think he'd be reasonably happy with that.
Just waiting just for a couple of drivers to make their way over to the commentary channel, where hopefully we can grab a couple of them just for a quick chat. But yeah, Roma, where are we next week?
We are at Oran Park.
Oran Park. Oh, so we're coming home.
Yep.
What are we expecting from that? Lenovo got any plans or strategies lined up yet, or
He's not going to tell you.
or
That was gonna be my drop round, because I feel like the track feels like a go-kart track, and you're driving the V8 on it, and it's wow. But a lot of guys have fun in it, so Dean is looking forward to it.
It's one of the home tracks, so to speak, for this car. Yeah, I've driven it. It's difficult, I'll be honest, but I think once you learn it, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But I mean, never one of my favourite tracks, to be honest, for the V8 supercars. But yeah, why not? It's going to be all right. I think it's going to be all right. I think we're going to get a good race. I must admit, Alex, I reckon somebody's going to crash off the bridge at some point. Going to end up underneath. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
oh dear, we've got Marlon McMullen just joined the channel. I don't know if you want to drag him up.
Hey, go for it, mate. Go for it.
Hi, Marlon. Welcome to the commentary box.
Good morning, everyone. How are we?
Yeah, good.
Good.
Just
Right, Marlon, so...
Sorry, Woody.
No, go for it, mate. Go on.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about your race strategy in particular. We're quite interested about.
Yeah, I mean, I had a terrible start. I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if I got so much wheel spin I sort of bogged it when I clutched in to go get second gear. I'm really hot. I'm just trying to hydrate myself at the moment. Yeah, I had a terrible start, but then from there on, I don't know what happened behind me. Just pushed out a lead. Was focused to come in early just to put some fuel in the car because I knew it was going to be difficult to also. Boy, was I proven wrong at the end. I thought what I'd do is I'd throw 15 litres in because it was 60 litre tank capacity, run the tank down to 50, and then just throw 10 in. And then from there on, I was behind Chris, and I thought he was going to come in for the pit, and he never pitted, and then Tobias jumped me, and I was very baffled with what happened.
So it was always the plan to come in early then, so...
Yeah, it worked very well. I mean, as I said, there's no point, trying to crunch the numbers and, panic yourself to death in the race. Oh, am I going to make it? Am I not? I'm very shocked Chris made it, because, I mean, I ran out at the end, so he must have been, I thought he was using a high bevel, so he must have been actually lifting off quite early in the back straight.
Yeah, he said that he only went full throttle in the final 4 laps. During the race, he didn't go full throttle.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Very well.
What happened then, Marlon, do you think, after the pit stop, in terms of... he didn't really seem to have the pace that he had at the beginning of the race. Was that the tyres, or was that getting caught in the traffic?
I was very, very happy with my first flying lap. I think I did a 20.3. I don't know where I pulled that out.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I burned out my tyres too much, but I thought I was doing alright. I mean, I was doing nice 27s the whole race, and then it just wasn't quick enough, so I'll have to go back to the drawing board and fix the tyres, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, you had 20.3, 20.8 to begin the race, and then you came in, so that's what I was a bit shocked that you came in.
The tyres rub it in bad for me.
You had good, you're very consistent all the way through, to be fair. I mean, did Chris hold you up at first and then pull away from you slightly at the end? I mean, was that... Because you looked to be pressuring him quite hard at the beginning of the stint, but then as the stint went on, you seemed to just drop back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I caught up to him, and at first I thought he was with all the other guys having a battle. I mean, it was just another guy that I was going to hopefully get past in the pit lane. And so I was running, behind him and trying to put as much pressure on him, but I wasn't really thinking, he's going to come in soon. There's no need to do something silly.
Yeah.
Boy, did he trick. He's done very well with psychology, Tom.
He's done that. You won't be. You're not the first person he's done that to. We've seen that.
Trying to chase him, so
We've seen that a few times, mate. You're not the first. He's a magician with the fuel, I have to say.
Innovation is key, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, on to Oran Park next week. How are we looking forward to that?
Yeah, I hope I'm looking good. I mean, it's one of those tracks where it's all going to be about the tyres and just trying to get the most out of the rears, because it's such a sort of start-stop track, especially so many low-speed corners. So I like the track. It's a good challenge. It's very difficult. It's very technical, but if you hit all the apexes,
it's going to be very, very tough. You would think to, like you said, to preserve the rear tyres. I think there, but anybody who can do that's to win. So,
that's the key at the end of the day. With the new tyre model, whoever can save them to the end has the upper hand.
That's it.
Well, well done again. Still good, consistent points today. It's not going to harm the championship at all. So we look forward to seeing what you can do at Oran Park. Congrats again.
Thanks, guys. Hope you have a very good day. Happy New Year.
Yeah, and to you.
Yeah, same to you, mate.
See you, Marlon.
See you guys.
Cheers, Mallet.
We did have Chris in the channel just a minute ago, but he's jumped down to talk to his teammates.
That's fair enough. Tell him his team boss is up here.
Yeah, Rama, go and drag him up. Definitely want to have a little chat to him if he can, if he finds his way back up here again.
I just can't get over that drive. I mean,
who we have got in the Ready for Interview channel is Nobby. Let's get him up here because he's been moving. I know he wasn't in today's race, but let's have a quick chat. One of the moderators of the league. Mark, you there?
Oh God, I heck must send me up there, right?
not again.
I know that you're moving and you're struggling with internet and signal, and I think you've just proved it to everybody.
Yeah. That'll be.
I'm doing it again, is it?
Yeah, jumping like mad.
Alright, sure. Maybe back there.
You don't half have trouble with that net, you. Hopefully we'll catch up with you later on, buddy, when that's sorted itself out.
Yeah, thank you.
See you, mate.
Chris is ready for the interview.
Let's drag him up then.
I don't have fishing. There you go.
Hi, Mr. Lucky.
I guess.
And I thought that was the last race the other week. You come back and you just put in probably one of your best drives that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was half luck. Any one of these weeks is going to be my last week whenever they say the schedule's going to change. But these are the first laps I've turned since Spa, and I only turned about 9 laps in practice playing with the fuel to see if it could be done, and I knew it could. And I figured, what the hell, if it comes up short, it comes up short. I'm not in the points anymore, so I don't know. It just worked out.
I love it.
How the heck did you manage that from the back of the grid? I mean, what sort of start did you get? Did you manage to avoid everything going on in front?
Oh yeah, I actually just gave it enough fuel, enough throttle off the line to get it going, and then pushed the clutch in and let it roll all the way through turn 1 and up the hill. Just like it said, everyone bottlenecks at the start anyway, so I didn't try to pass anybody, just kind of relaxed and ran a clean race, and, got podium. So.
Yeah, and you still ended up in front of Richard because he went off the track in the first lap. But I mean, did you know that you would get to the end? Were you guessing? Because you obviously went quicker as the race went on, so I'm guessing you pretty much knew that you had enough about halfway through.
Well, Marlon pitted. I think Marlon was leading when he pitted. and he came out a couple seconds behind me, and I was fuel saving, and I know Marlon's probably a little bit faster than I am as a driver anyway, and he wasn't catching me. So I think he might have been saving too. So that was really screwing me up. I'm thinking if he pitted, he would have taken fuel. So
Right.
you know, I didn't even go full throttle until there were 4 laps to go when I knew I had enough. So
Yeah, because he said he thinks he might have burnt the tyres up quickly because he definitely caught you at first, and he did think you were going to pit, but then he was waiting and waiting, and
Yeah.
you know, you never did. So he was a lot faster before he came in though than afterwards, which is a bit strange. But I mean, it's definitely a good race. For you to come through from the back like that, I mean, is that one of the most satisfying races for yourself that you've had?
honestly, you know, I'm going to take a little credit away from myself here, but it wouldn't have turned out that way without Damian Reckon and Stamankovic and Simon. So I wasn't even going to race. That's why I logged in so late. That's why I wasn't to start things off. And I just decided, I know the track, I'll just go out and cruise around. I'm surprised I'm up in the top 5.
Having said all that though, you know, Tobias was in front of the lot of them at one point, so you know, you still only finished a second behind him, so who's to say you couldn't have beaten them as well? But who knows? Like I say, when people crash, you never know.
That's
Alex,
true. When Tobias came out of the pits, I started, you know, I normally stay pretty calm. I started to get excited, so I'm thinking, oh, goodness.
so much for just cruising around.
Yeah, fantastic drive, buddy. I mean, definitely, we were saying earlier that definitely our driver of the day today, from the back to second. We were willing actually, you to get the victory just to see from the back to first. It'd been epic, but alas, second place still fantastic. So congratulations on another brilliant drive, and yeah, it's nice to see you on track again.
Yep, thanks guys.
Oh, one thing while you're on air, and you can't deny it. Did you get my PM?
Yes, I did. I will.
Entrapment.
Yeah, got him. No worries, buddy. Have a good
Well,
one.
we've got that on tape now, anyway. So.
Yeah, have a good one, and well done again today.
Thanks, guys.
Well done, mate.
Well done, bro.
Right, I think that just about wraps up the show for today. But yeah, thank you very much for jumping up here after your wheel troubles and just giving us a little bit of extra help. Always appreciated.
It's been good, mate, but don't turn it into a habit like Justin.
No, I look forward to this, just being part of just anything. So I wanted to stay here racing or helping out.
Like I say, get that wheel sorted out and go and kick some ass at Oran Park.
I'll try for sure.
Right, Alex, it's been really good, mate, to be back, and thanks for all the hard work as usual, and been a good race today.
Just actually, what I will do, just as I've seen the message come in as well, just going to give a shout out to the Atkins family right at the end of the show. I think they're all watching, so you know, whoop, whoop. Hello guys. Say
Hello, Atkins family.
Hello.
Perhaps
But it's a
not,
lot warmer for you than it is for us.
yeah, perhaps not the result they wanted to see tonight, but nevertheless, still got himself some good points and looking good in the championship. So yeah, hi to Marty and all the family. But yeah, on that note, that will wrap it up. Thanks to everybody. V8 SuperCar Series, ARL-TV, Pagnian Imports, Apex Racing League. Don't forget Facebook, Twitter, follow us, and we'll see you next week at Oran Park.
See you later, guys.
We've done that with iRacing. We're creating a new NASCAR sanctioned series, a new division of NASCAR that people from all over the world can compete in from their homes.
They're all just fans really wanting to know and to be able to get as close to to the realism of driving a race car as possible. And there's nothing really that catches it quite like iRacing.
It can be a tool for guys that don't have a lot of experience at a track or don't, you know, have never been somewhere. You can crash a lot. It doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you a lot of money, and you can get an idea what's going on before you ever get to the racetrack.